All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, what do we have? The tragedy of the falling of our nation into an economic dungeon unfolding before our very eyes. All the depths that we feared that our country may hit have been exceeded. When this administration was moving to float the naira, experts warned that it wasn't a good move, and they gave concrete reasons, statistical explanations as to why the economy was not prepared for such a move. But this government already said, no be statistics we go chop. They said statistics don't matter. So they went ahead and floated the naira shortly after raising the price of petrol from 195 naira to about 700 naira. And the economy began to crash. First of all, local businesses began to fold up, and in no time, multinationals began to dump the country. Within 6 months of Tinubu's reign, foreign companies that had operated in Nigeria for decades began exiting the country. Microsoft had 2 centers in Africa, one in Kenya and the other in Lagos, Nigeria. They shut down the one in Lagos and kept the one in Kenya. They are still thinking of the country to take the other one too. I guess it will be Ghana. Total Energies, an oil giant, chose Angola over Nigeria for a $6 billion investment, and many others. And few hours ago, all hell was let loose when another multinational, this one is a household name, they announced that they will be exiting Nigeria. Before I give you details of that development and the massive reactions from Nigerians, let me quickly show you this damning report on insecurity. Terrorists attack military base, raid Katsina communities, kill 4 policemen, dozens of residents. 2 soldiers were wounded in a terrorist attack on a military base in Tegina, in Rafi local government area of Niger State. The incident, which took place on Monday, resulted in the death of one attacker during a gunfight with the soldiers. Sources indicated that the bandits were heading towards Mashegu and Wushishi local government areas when they carried out the assault. Meanwhile, the terrorists locally dubbed as bandits also raided the villages of Gidan Tofa and Dan Nakwabo in the Kankara local government area of Katsina State, killing at least 40 people and injuring 2 others. The attack, carried out by a large group of armed assailants on Sunday, lasted 4 hours. During the time, about 40 villagers were killed and 2 were wounded. Additionally, the bandits ambushed an armored personnel carrier responding to the attack, killing 4 police officers and 2 members of the Katsina State Community Watch Corps. On Monday, Abubakar Sadiq, spokesman for the Katsina State Police Command, announced that the police were collaborating with relevant stakeholders to prevent further incidents and apprehend the perpetrators. He also mentioned the deployment of additional operational assets to the affected area. Now, they attacked a military base in Niger State. They said soldiers were only wounded, but they had a gun battle with soldiers, and I can bet that they also killed soldiers. Now, what is the response of the military? If it were in other parts of the country, you start seeing them issuing statements, oh, there are going to be reprisal attacks, we are going to shut the places down. The same terrorists in Katsina killed 40 villagers. We have not heard anything from them, and 4 policemen. So, I don't know if this is also a northern privilege to allow terrorists, to be destroying the north. Is it a northern privilege? And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet by Aye Mojuba says, this is where the planned military airstrikes against illegal refineries in Abia State are essential. That is it. That is where we need the military might. Stop disturbing people in the south and southeast. This tweet here says, I'm waiting to hear the news about reprisals, because anyone audacious enough to attack a military base surely has to be dealt with, because that's an issue of national security. But of course, we know the strength of the army headquarters. It only exists in the south, within communities of unarmed, harmless civilians. This is a shame. And Donald here says, unknown gunmen attack a roadblock in Abia and everywhere burst, while in the north, known gunmen attack a whole military base and everywhere is quiet. Crime is legal and a legitimate business in the north. That is what you are telling us. But it is up to you. Destroy your region if you want to. Now, let us look at that update on the latest foreign company that is exiting Nigeria. Look at how the papers reported it. Guinness announces plan to leave Nigeria after 75 years as Tinubu's inflation wreaks economic havoc. After operating in Nigeria since 1950 and enduring a torrid economic climate on the back of Tinubu's administration, Guinness has announced it will exit the Nigerian market and sell off its controlling shares to Singaporean conglomerate Tolaram Group on Tuesday. The brewery brand recorded a staggering 61.9 billion naira loss after tax between July 2023 and March 2024, just a few months after Mr. Tinubu floated the naira in an effort to unify the currency's value on the official and parallel foreign exchange markets. But the move backfired and caused many multinational companies to suffer huge financial setbacks, including Guinness Nigeria, whose 61.7 billion naira loss after tax in the third quarter was a 1,000% decrease from 5.9 billion naira profit generated in the same period last year. What a disaster. The loss, exacerbated by the naira's continued downward trend, may have informed Diageo's Guinness parent company to sell its 58.02% majority stake to the Singaporean group. Under the terms of an agreement signed today, 11 June 2024, Tolaram will acquire Diageo's 58.02% shareholding in Guinness Nigeria royalty agreements for the continued production of Guinness brand and its locally manufactured Diageo ready-to-drink and mainstream spirit brands, the company said in a statement Tuesday. In the statement, Guinness said the firm would leave Nigeria next year and hand over to a third-party venture. The transaction is expected to be completed during the fiscal 2025, subject to obtaining the requisite regulatory approvals in Nigeria, said the statement signed by Abidemi Ademola, Guinness's legal director. Some of Diageo's popular brands in Nigeria include Smirnoff Ice, Smirnoff Vodka, Origin Bitters, Malta Guinness, Gordon's Orange Sunset, and Do Big Malt. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet by Salako says, under 1 year of the drug law sniffing his way into power, Unilever has left Nigeria. GSK has left. Sanofi is leaving. Bolt Food has left. Procter & Gamble has left. Microsoft has left. Guinness is leaving. Bosun Tijani has left 3MTT. He had entered farming. But Tayo Aina is the problem. God will punish all of you. That is it. You destroy the economy, you start blaming other people. You blame Nigerians that tweet. You blame Peter Obi. You blame obedience. Haba. And this tweet by Aye Mojuba says, posting a loss after tax of 61.7 billion naira for the 9 months, including ending March 31, 2024, compared to a profit of 5.9 billion during the same period the previous year, is a compelling reason to exit a country regardless of the duration of your presence there. That is it. Even if they have been here 73 years or 74 years, 75, to lose 61.7 billion in a year, haba, is enough reason for you to leave. And Dallas says he is looting Nigeria dry and blaming it on inflation. This is the same person that is looking for foreign investors. Nobody is going to come under this kind of circumstances. And this tweet here by Ajay Wale says everything will leave Nigeria. Even Nigeria will leave Nigeria. Chai. Anyway, it is what it is. These are the consequences of having people in power who don't know what to do. It is easy to grab power and just sit on the seat, but when it comes to making a nation work, it's a different ball game. Somebody who is a tax collector, all he does is to collect tax and then build bridges or build some edifices, some mansions where poor people cannot even enter. But that was not what the economy needed after Buhari, and Peter Obi was pointing it out to Nigerians. He told us that if we continue to do things the same way we were doing them, that the result was going to be a disaster. And that is what we are saying now. The economy is folding up. Companies, local companies are, drying up daily. Multinationals are leaving. You would think that even if local companies cannot cope, maybe because of their capital, these multinationals should be able to cope, because Nigeria is a large market. There is nobody that will leave Nigeria unless that condition is clearly and genuinely not favorable. To see these guys living, it tells you that what we are even seeing in this economy now is a joke compared to what is coming, because they will look into the future. If there is a problem, they will see if that problem is going to be solvable in the next 1 or 2 years. So they have seen that there is no light at the end of the tunnel, and that is why they are leaving before they go bankrupt. That is what I keep telling Nigerians. There is no light at the end of this APC tunnel. Imagine the number of people that have become unemployed as a result of this exodus of multinationals. And this is how it will continue until the APC are kicked out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.